Okie dokies.
Oh, it should be actually pre-show, not post-show.
Mhm.
What?
So was on Facebook briefly and I saw this meme and it's this beautiful idyllic autumn like woods kind of scene. So there are all these foliage, leaves in color, beautiful trees, and there might be like a little creek and and it's a meme, but it has this text over top of it. It says, "My family and I like to play this little game in the fall." And then you get to the bottom and it says, "How long can we go before we freeze because we don't turn the heat on?" I was like,
Been there. God. Not worrying about it right now. As we head into October, 90-degree temperatures. Whatever.
yeah. I was joking about it the other day. I said I was thinking about taking the AC out of the window because it got down into like the almost the 50s, and I was like, "Oh, well, this probably doesn't serve much purpose anymore." And then I think 2 days later, it was like 83 during the day. I was like, "Okay." Welcome to the time of year where you just don't know quite what the hell's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 bum, ba, 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 bum. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm still tired. I was up late last night.
Yeah, we were. It's funny, we got home fairly late, and I figured I'm not even going to bother like getting on my computer. I'm just gonna like get everything set up here at the dining table so I can be ready for podcast in the morning. And then I went to bed at like 1-ish.
So yeah, I normally am in bed about 11
Mm-hmm.
because I got to be up early in the morning. So I was up late last night. A friend who comes to the run often is in town visiting with some other friends.
Aww.
And so they were like, "Oh, good." Sorry. Was like, "Hey, I'm not going to come into town and not like hang out and see you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So we matched up schedules and we got together last night for dinner and then hung out afterwards. But I didn't come home until almost 1 a.m. So, and I'm just like still tired this morning. So yeah.
It's National Coffee Day?
Yeah, happy National Coffee Day to you too, Drew. Not that you know I don't really drink it, so some people are celebrating.
I was thinking about making some, but I didn't. Because I just kind of woke up and was lazy. I had shit to do before the show. Kind of.
Yeah.
Really shit to do to set up for the show, really.
Get all that shit together. Get it in a box. Get that shit together. Get it in a box.
Did I not? Oh, I did. 8 a.m. Okay.
I should have had coffee.
I do not have coffee.
I should have made coffee. Well,
I have instant coffee. That's the closest I got at my place.
So first you say you don't drink coffee, and here you are with coffee, despite the fact that it's instant.
maybe it's for friends. Our guest.
It is. It's shitty coffee for people that absolutely have to have it. But most of the people that have stayed at my place are close enough friends that they just leave and they go someplace and get coffee. So, and
But it's
actually,
there.
the whole reason I bought the instant ground coffee was for making chocolate mousse
Oh, that's fair enough.
because
Uh,
espresso is an ingredient in the mousse.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh, well,
Flesh it out.
I can make shitty espresso just so we get the flavor.
Just so you get the flavor.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
True. Shade.
Well, it's true. Like they usually go to AJ's favorite place, Brouhaha, for coffee, which I don't blame because it's a great little coffee house.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, Owen. Yeah, I just kind of I'm not a coffee person. I'm more of a tea person. So
Mm.
Here's your coffee. Here's your tea. Here's your plastic bag. Ugh.
what is that's what I want, maybe. November 3rd. Okay. I was thinking about daylight savings time. I was trying to call it
Mm-hmm.
when it ends. Morning, Owen. All right. Wrong. Where is that data coming from? Ooh, I gotta change all that shit. Sorry. Morning, Daniel. Oh, everybody's just waking up this morning.
Well, it is 9 o'clock Central Time.
True. Let's see here. Suppose I should take that out. Boy, this is just a mess.
Oh God, I have to be up at like 3 on Wednesday. So I get shower, get dressed, make sure I got everything packed. But fortunately, a work friend is taking me to the airport, so I don't
The
have to.
airport.
Yeah.
Oh, we
So,
should probably talk about that too. We need to figure that out.
oh, for next week? No, we
No, no,
already got
no.
that figured. Oh.
No. I'm talking about myself
Oh,
and
your own
flight.
trip.
My own trip. Yeah.
Fine. Just turning about me to you.
I mean, duh.
Well, because my current schedule, normally I go to bed at around 3, so that I wake up at around 11, so that I get
So
at
you
least an
can
hour or so to chill out before I have to get ready
head
for
to
work.
work.
Because I like having that act after work time. Like I'm not
Fair.
so I don't care so much about the before work as much. It's the
Mm.
after work time that I usually like to have time to kind of wind down from work before going to bed. I don't like coming home from work and then just going to bed.
Well, I don't think
Mm.
most people can. I mean, unless it's
Even
something
just
that
an
you're
hour
used
or
to.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I prefer the shorter time before work than after work.
Mm.
So that's why I stay up late and still try to get that 8 hours in. 7 hours. Yeah. I usually still wake up at like anywhere between 8 and 10. I know it's a 2 hour window, but still. Like before my alarm goes off. because like if I was still working like a 9 to 6, essentially a 9 to 5 job, but I would still like wake up like just an hour or so before work and then have all the night to do stuff. So I'm just doing that, except just adjusted.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Are we ready?
I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
I might have red eyes. Get into that.
Red eye.
So if I seem a little loopy or I suddenly go mute, it's probably because I'm sneezing. So just let you know. So I have to mute 2 places. It's kind of annoying. But Gary, are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just multitasking at the moment.
Multitasking. It is the thing. That's the stuff and the whatnot. All right, here we go. And 3, and 2, and 1. It's September 29th, 2019. I'm Jeff.
Who's your bear? That's right. I am your bear.
I'm Damon.
I don't brew the tea, I just serve it.
And that makes me Gary.
Don't hurt nobody with your bad self.
Well, welcome to Because Out Loud, the Bear Podcast, been determined length, episode number 527. And it's that time again, finally, after a couple of months. But it's time to find out. So August was still overnight, and of course we got drunk. But after that, I switched from being overnights to daylight. So I'm back in the sunlight. It burns. Not that I've gotten a burn because I try to avoid it as much as possible. Because that's just the guy who I am. And just yesterday, well, we know it's autumn. Which also means allergy season. So if you're looking at the video and you see me kind of scrunching down and looking all droopy-eyed and maybe my nose is red... it's I checked the pollen forecast and it said ragweed was high and tree pollen was kind of moderate, like, but still kind of more on the high side. Yeah, so if I suddenly go mute, it's probably because I'm sneezing and trying to find something to wipe my nose with.
Okay.
So
Allergy sufferers unite.
yeah.
Good God.
Also, if I seem a little... Also, it's like I'm... Because I did take like a generic Benadryl, so I'm kind of like...
Oh. If you
so if I seem like nonplussed...
So if you fall into a coma, it's okay. You took Benadryl. We understand.
It's fine. So if I suddenly just go quiet, these guys will take care of most of it, and I'll hopefully be up enough to end the show. But yeah. Although I do have some more clips to play, so
Yeah.
yay!
Yay! Allergies. Yeah. Yeah. I was realized.
I agree with that one. Sounds like Paula needs to lay off the drugs if it's high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
noticed
need
that
to
this
tone
week
it
as
down.
well.
But this just
Literally this
started.
week.
This literally started just yesterday.
Oh, for me, it's been all week. Ugh.
And other than that, I'm dull and boring. Been watching a lot. Oh, I bet since YouTube TV finally got Food Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and something else has just started back up that has gotten me super excited too. But we'll talk about that later. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, Damon, what's been going on with you?
Oh gosh. So since August, I first thing is I did Cincinnati Leather. Um, very fun event here in town. It's being a lot more progressive in which that they do not it is not a gender specific title. It is just Cincinnati Leather. So congratulations to Logan Savage. They won the most recent Cincinnati Leather title, and they are using the mixed title as part of theirs. So they're mixed Cincinnati Leather. So congratulations to Logan. It was a lot of fun. It was a long, long, long contest, but they're still working out some of the kinks. Haha. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Anyway, so there's that. Um, work has been interesting. I think we've talked about it on the show before. My department got outsourced by a third party to a third party administrator. So most of August and September was spent getting work done so that they have less to take over when they take over. Saying goodbyes to my fellow coworkers because me and my boss essentially got to stay on as the stay team for the. So I'm still at Macy's. I'm still working, but the rest of the guys left, which was kind of good and bad, sad kind of thing. We did have a fun week prior to them leaving. We went to dinner, or we went to lunch on company pay,
Oh, nice.
and had some really nice burgers. And then we planned an outing where we went to a candle making place and got some candles made, which was a lot of fun. I love the Candle Lab. They're here in town, and I think they have stores all over, but it was good. It was really good. I made a candle with some shocking scents. It's leather, obviously,
I was
mug
about
and
to ask that.
brush, and then old books. So it was a really fun. It's a really fun, or not fun. It's a musky scented candle, and I like it a lot. I haven't lit it yet, but so far I like it. So yeah. So that was the fun part of the work, and the fun, non-fun. Since then, work has been crazy. We're trying to do a lot of the catch-up work because the third-party administrator technically started in July, but September was the date that they would take over everything. So there's been a lot of backlog because we've been trying to get some stuff done, but we can get everything done, and we're just slowly getting through it. It's taking some time. It's taking a lot of time, and it's a lot of energy. So when I am done for the day, I usually like vegging out because my mind is so hard, like core working on stuff. And then finally, for me, gaming. Yay! I'm starting with some friends. I am doing a D&D improv podcast kind of thing.
Ooh.
We haven't started recording yet, but we are. We've met a few times. We're kind of working out our characters and stuff like that, so that when we actually present it in a podcast format, it's a little bit more developed. But we've got a group of a very queer-centric group of folks that are coming together And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm actually looking forward to us actually recording and getting on, getting it out there and see what happens. It will be just a audio podcast because I think we just feel a little bit more comfortable doing it as just that way. But we'll, depending on how things go, maybe we'll have, pictures and stuff made and et cetera, so forth and so on. Yeah, but that's been fun. And then my other D&D group, we finally met after a bit of a hiatus last night and had a really good time. I really like this group. I'm really liking what we're doing. And
what do you play?
Yeah. So we're playing D&D 5th edition in the game that I played last night. I am a dragonborn fighter, keeping it simple-ish. And then in the podcast game, I created a noble half-elf cleric that's just very snooty and patooty, and I kind of like it. Like, it's really fun. It's really fun. He's really, really gay. Like, like super gay. But yeah. That's me.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gary?
I had a busy time with things, but so this is kind of the legacy. It's been work, dealing with my dad, which I'll get into in a little bit, and sleep, and then repeat, day in and day out. So back in August, my dad took a couple bad falls at home. He didn't break anything, but he did bang himself up pretty good. And I was really concerned about his condition. So he went into the hospital to get checked out and then was in a rehab facility for a week and a half. And he's back home. But I am now checking in on him probably. Well, it was originally 4 times a day, then 3 times a day, not just like twice a day, like making sure that he has his medications and he's taking them and eating and, has what he needs and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So it's, kind of been a cycle of that stuff. He's doing rather well. We do some grocery shopping, once a week and that kind of stuff, but he's, still independent, so I'm learning a lot by his decisions to do things his way. I guess I'll put it that way. So, not like I've ever been known to, be
oh no, not you
about how I achieve certain things.
What you know?
Yeah. So, and then the Drench Fur group is, we're organizing and putting things together, and registration is about to kick off very soon. So as soon as we're done with the podcast, guess what I'm working on today? And then we're getting the hotel contract piece squared up. And unfortunately, just due to the circumstances with work and with Dad and stuff, I'm not going to be really doing any traveling. At least I don't think I will be for the time to come. It remains to be seen. Like, he's relatively okay, but I feel like if I'm going to leave for any period of time, like even just for a weekend, I need someone to check in on him. So, but yeah. So WBW is coming up, World Bear Weekend. I know a bunch of people that are going, so I'm looking forward to hearing how enjoyable that weekend is. It's scary Halloweeny kind of fright theme thing this year. So Paul Lanner, who has been our guest in the past, is part of the group that's helping organize and put that together. So it's
he's a producer.
Yeah, so it's in his wheelhouse, to say the least. So yeah, and so that's pretty much kind of it. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, work is interesting. There's new training coming this week. So that will be curious to see how that kind of plays out. The HIV task force that I'm a part of, we did an HIV awareness walk and the mayor of the city attended for the first time, which was nice. Yeah, so just plugging away at things, trying to get stuff done and things of that nature. So I think that's kind of it. I feel like my life has been a bit of a slow blender for the past like 2 months.
Fair.
Fair enough.
So, yep.
Well, we got a lot of catch up on besides just our lives. So let's get right into it. Gary, what's been going on over in the Facebooks?
All right, so we got Wine Facebook share. Mr. Aaron Moberg shared COL527. What is confidence? Episode post. So we appreciate that. Something about it he liked, and he passed that on. We also got 4 new likes on Facebook since last time we chatted about this. So we want to thank Anwar, Lord Sire, Stephen Buzz Foster, which that name sounds real familiar. For those of you that don't know why we're doing that, go back through the COL archives to the Father's Day episode post where he was on talking about being a foster parent and then adopting.
Yeah.
Also, we want to thank Ronnie Cassis and Bruce Gore for liking us on Facebook. And then we got some comment posts. So regarding COL 522, which was Transparent Interview, Charles S. Scott said, great episode, with like 5 little bear emojis. COL 519 was our last What's Going On. It was for the month of July. And Q, a.k.a. Michael Quinnichet, LMT, which is licensed massage therapist, he said, if reference to my phone call into COL, this is what I meant when I said get on top of the client. Kissy emoji, laughy, like crying emoji. So he included a picture, which we'll end up posting to the website. But we were talking about what massage table weights, like how much they can hold, because I think that stemmed from the whole like porn fantasy thing about people fucking on a massage table and whether or not that really can hold bears. And so Michael was letting us know about the different weights, and then he made reference to getting on top of his clients. And of course, we were all like, okay.
I'm going to top on your class.
So he sent us a picture of him, like basically, for those that aren't going to see the picture, so he's kneeling and using his body weight with gravity to put pressure on top of the other person who is laying down, and he's working on their glutes. So he's like using gravity as part of like the pressure onto the body. But, so yeah, it's not poor, but you could use your imagination.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump to porn, probably, depending on the nature of the business.
There's some clothes removal. It's got to happen.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would have to happen. Yes, of course. But
pushing things aside. And then in Facebook's cousin over in Instagram, we have some new followers. So we want to thank A.S. Cone, Toadberg, MSD_1802, Isaac.Benjamin.14, and Demon Doctor the Series.
Nice.
Instagram comments. So Owen, who's actually in our live chat right now, was commenting and said, it's so beautiful. And he posted pictures of the COL chili bowl that he bought.
Yay.
Because we do have chili bowls and soup bowls, which are amazing. I got one of the soup bowls. I love it. It's my favorite soup bowl.
You could get those at Zazzle.com/cubsoutloud.
Exactly. They're at least the soup bowl. I haven't gotten the chili bowl, but the soup bowl, it compared to my normal bowls that I use for soup, it's wider and it holds a lot more soup. So it's a very functional. And it has a nice little, cupish handle. So.
Ooh.
So what I'm hearing is that it's big boy functional soup bowl.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm not kidding. It's good, and even my soup bowl is good for chili too. But chili bowls tend to have like the square bottom versus kind of like the rounded bottom, like normal soup bowls.
Mm.
And the last comment we got on Instagram was regarding COL516, which was Let's Talk About Sex series. What porn taught us part one? Haunt Cub said, I wonder what a daddy cub could contribute.
I mean, yeah, like I'm sure you could contribute a lot.
So I don't know if he was saying he's the daddy cub and that he wants to contribute, or he was asking about like potentially one of us or Hadrian. Like I was like, I'm very intrigued by this. So
Well, let's.
We
we're
need some
checking
more
his-
information.
yeah.
We're checking his Insta right now. There you go. Hey, well, I can't look at his profile, but I can see his first picture. Yeah, Daddy. Like, by all means, enlighten us.
And that was kind of that portion of things. Damon, what about over on YouTube?
So over on YouTube, we got a new subscriber. Don't quite. No, wait. Yes, I do. Lavelle Trahan, welcome. I believe I know that name. Yeah. And then we got a couple of comments on several of our episodes. On COL 429, our Power Hour.
5.
From 5. Oh, God.
This is an old one.
Power Hour 5.
429.
Wow. So a flashback. Ooh. Owen responded or left us a message and said tacos and enchiladas and more shirtless Gary. You might have a fan, Gary.
You just have to tune into the Power Hour 6 and the Power Hour 7. Like it happens every year.
Speaking of Power Hour 7.
So speaking of Power Hour 7, thank you, Jeff.
Segue.
We got a comment on Power Hour 7, episode 523. And it's Owen says, I'm scared. Drunk me is on the internet. LOL. For the record, I was good on shots until I reached the minute of my birthday. Then started skipping. And then he put in parentheses, I also might have been trying to hold some of it down. Aww. Well, thank you for being a trooper and trying to make it through, Owen. Trust me, it's not easy. And as someone who has decided to stop doing it after a debacle a few years ago, love you, sweetie.
And and those who have to do it, you know, sometimes you kind of have to think about it in strategy, such as the fact that beer is carbonated beverage, which can cause issues. So it may not necessarily be the alcohol.
Yeah, it's usually not the alcohol. Sometimes it's just like all that carbonation. Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh.
you have to
Anyway.
find the right beer. It's got to be at least flavorful, so you enjoy drinking a lot of it, and then it's just you know, opening up those bottles to kind of like let it decarbonate a little. So.
And did you say like it's better when it's warm or cold?
Depending on the beer, it can be better when it's a little bit warmer.
Mm-hmm. So I remember. Yeah. So there's that.
All right.
Helpful hits for the next Power Hour.
Yep. For you people who are searching around on Vimeo for our videos, we do have a couple videos on there. Unfortunately, it can get really expensive to have a lot of videos on Vimeo, which we can't afford, so that's why we're all on YouTube nowadays. But we still do have some on Vimeo, such as COL-TV 12. This is from like the first generation. And it was actually liked by Ali for Mr. Hot Bear Contest 9 or 09. So this is like back in 2009 that it was recorded. It was our fourth part of that. So thank you. We had a couple of emails. Okay, so here's where things are going to get a little long. So bear with us, guys. Okay, so Henry says... emailed us, said, hi guys, still enjoying your podcast for all these years, although the one about trans acceptance did seem to go on and got on my nerves. Not sure if that's because I'm personally uncomfortable with the subject or just due to my habitual short attention span. Anywho, to quote Damon, your call in COL 515 for suggestions, topics of future shows made me think of one. Wonder what it was. wonder what it was. In the time it took to seek out your website, to go to contact us, fill in the top of the form, and type the preceding two paragraphs, it completely slipped my mind. Age takes its toll. Oh yeah, that's it. You jokingly mentioned being together in a home 50 years from now and still putting on the podcast immediately brought to mind the subject of retirement homes for gay men. Something that has been on my mind as I age. I have found none in the Atlanta area, and I wonder if they exist in other locales. If so, perhaps you could bring in a representative from one. A resident would be great to talk about the concept, the demand, the challenges, and rewards for getting them up and running, the general atmosphere in such a place, and whatever else y'all and the guest might think appropriate. None of us is getting younger, and what do I do now is a question that increasingly comes up. Thanks for considering this, and keep on casting, Henry.
Thanks, Henry.
So, gay retirement homes.
Yeah. So I did a really quick search because that's what I do. Gay retirement communities, and there's a couple of older like articles on like the best LGBT retirement communities, and there's 120 retirement communities for LGBT seniors, but that's like almost 3 years old. Top 15 LGBT senior living communities. Yeah, there's a few websites. Oh, this one's from June. Let's see. Most LGBT friendly places to retire to in America. So that's kind of a little different kind of take on it. It's just to like, instead of like an actual like retirement home or retirement community, that's more like, where do you want to live when you're older? So yeah, interesting. I wonder if they're good. That might be something to think about, maybe.
Just as a generalization, it's adjacent, but if anyone is interested and you're on Facebook, if you go to facebook.com/SageUSA, that's SAGEUSA. So if you hadn't heard before, I actually kind of follow them because I found it interesting. So Sage is the country's largest and oldest organization dedicated to improving the lives of LGBT older people. It was founded in 1978 in New York City. And they are an organization that's like thinking along those lines, because as a community, theoretically, if you use the Stonewall riots in 1969 as like the beginning of the current era, in terms of our community. So, that concept of, we are aging, and what are our rights and those type of things, that might be something to consider. And I can't think of what it is, but I do know there is a company that has been working, and her name just went out of my head. I think Martina Navratilova, Colonel Margaret Kammermeyer, is that her name? There's a couple other individuals who are older LGBT that have become involved in this concept, and I want to say it's like in the southwest area of the U.S., maybe Arizona or New Mexico, that they're like, I don't think they've broken ground necessarily, but they're thinking about this exact very thing about, that we're going to get older, and, what if we had a senior facility or senior living community for, LGBT. So I'm not specifically, part of it, but I know that Sage has some information regarding age-friendly housing across the country, things like that. So, but I definitely think, I know it's been kind of kidded about and teased, that it's a senior facility, and so there's going to be, Broadway brunch Sundays, and, all sorts of, drag queen bingo every Wednesday, or whatever, and that teasing stuff. But no, I think conceptually, like, it is definitely a thing. And I know that that's something that, has been studied a little bit or talked about in terms of, how will we be integrated, and how is that recognized and, handled, in senior living. Not that we have to have one of our own necessarily, but if there's ones that are more adaptive or involved in that case. So yeah, but there's definitely some things to consider about that.
And next up, we have a follow up on email that we had earlier about how some people actually go to the website and just download the podcast for various reasons. I had recently removed the download podcast link from the bottom of the post just because I felt like I didn't need to use it, but apparently I do. Because some people listen that way. Cool. Which is totally fine. So Ursus Major let us know, and he followed up. Thanks again for restoring a button to download the podcast. Could you do that for episodes 512, 516? Done and done. Just did that this morning. So if you hear this and need to go back, well, there you go. And we got... It ended up being 3 voicemails, but it really is just one voicemail. Because our voicemail, it looks like it cuts off after 3 minutes. So either if you call our voicemail, just try to get it done in 3 minutes, or if you feel like you might need some more time, just go ahead and just use your voicemail memo app on your phone, record it there, and then just email it to us. That way we can all have it all in one. So that's another option for you. Yeah, this one is kind of a response to our What Is series with both our self-love and self-hate episodes. You'll hear what I mean.
Hey guys, this is Owen / Howard / whoever you want me to be. You can take that as kinky or not kinky as you want. Anyways, I want to leave a message concerning your What Is videos and just diving deeper into the different topics there. I've been going through a lot recently, and it's... I don't know if you guys realize, so this is the same Howard that sent the email about being autistic and taking pride in being autistic and being neurologically different. There's a catch-22 with that. I take pride in being autistic because I have to. And what I mean by that is that I went through school. I dealt with a lot of self-hate, and it's because I noticed the changes. I noticed all the changes between myself and others, and I noticed the differences in social interaction and doing whatever. I noticed all of these things. So I had to, and I didn't learn this until way later in my life, but I had to take pride in who I was as an autistic person. So in doing that, I had to learn a little bit more about why I was different, what functions made me different versus other non-autistic, neurotypical people. In saying that, I just lost 3 friends who I went to a trip with to Vegas. I lost contact with all of them, and it was because of something that made me act out, or I acted out, and that kind of ruined the trip for them. But here's the thing. I accept the things I did. I accept all the wrong things I did. I said sorry for them, and I accept them because they are part of what makes me me. Like, sometimes I act out negatively, sometimes it can.
That's the 3-minute mark. Moving on to the next one.
Anyways, I'm going to try to get to my point as fast as I can. There's the catch-22 with me accepting myself and loving myself for who I am, and basically I'm taking pride in who I am, and basically that is that I hate the parts of me that make up me. I hate my stems, I hate my singing, I hate my dancing, snapping of fingers, the things I do to try to keep my level of cool and stress and calm under wraps and at a manageable level. I literally hate myself sometimes. I hate who I am. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I hate who I am intrinsically, but the thing is, I can't change it. I can't change any of those things. And when you can't change something that is so intrinsically a part of you, you just have to hope that you can make friends who understand and realize these things about you. And the thing about that is, you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose people who don't understand, who won't accept those things about you. And it hurts so freaking much. And I'm sorry. But, yeah. Okay. That's all I want to say is that sometimes self-love can come with self-hate. Another thing that I want to say is self-hate is absolutely taught by society. That's not something you learn on your own. And the tragic thing about self-love is that you have to learn it, because if you learn self-hate, then you have to learn self-love. I'm sorry. I've been through a lot. My relationships with people have been so confusing. This is one of the reasons why I have such a hard. But, yeah. I accept myself. I accept positive and negative aspects of myself. I accept the things that make me different. And I try to love myself, even though I can experience so much self-hate because of what my reality is. So, anyways, that's kind of my take on it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So first off, Howard, I thought it was awesome that you called in, even though it had to keep calling. Sorry about that. I think that like you really helped kind of like clarify on some things that I don't recall if we specifically got into some of what you were describing, but it's true that, you know, there's a balance. You're trying to, you know, love who you are, and yet at the same time, you know, weigh out what you feel are negatives about yourself. Whether you feel that you can change them or are unable to change them. I grew up thinking about how I always wanted to be taller. And, that just was not in the cards for me. Thanks, Mom. Her side of the family runs shorter. So, I mean, I think there's a kind of a personal reckoning with things in the course of, your time of your life. The more experience I think you have being you and knowing who you are, I think balances things and then moves it more in the direction that you love yourself than you don't love yourself. I also thought you said something really profound in that, where you said, that you are basically taught to love yourself or to hate yourself. And if you come from an environment in which you have self-hate, then you also have to learn how to love yourself. Like it's not a light switch. It just doesn't happen, in the blink of an eye. I'm in my mid-40s and I'm still dealing with shit. That's the nature, I think, of part of being a human being. And I think that, it was really awesome of you to open up about that. I also think it was, incredibly brave, and I appreciate you, wanting to talk about that stuff and help us recognize and understand that, we're all going on journeys, and each of you as an audience member have something that, or multiple things that you're working through and balancing.
Yeah, that's
great.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. It was kind of putting the thoughts in my head that I was trying to say. So thank you for that.
So hopefully, Howard, if you want to, call in again or send us any comments and stuff, that's totally fine. We hope that part of what we're doing here for the podcast is helping people come to terms with themselves and, broadening your understanding of things, whether it be, through silliness or jokes or, serious stuff. I mean, some of those topics, I mean, self-love and self-hate, I don't think we got super down, and super serious about those topics, but they're things that, are a part of our lives. So, yeah.
All
so
right.
thanks for the voicemails. It's awesome stuff.
Thank you.
Yes, really appreciate it. Moving on to our over in the Twitterverse, we've got new followers. We got Guy Beefy, Puck Smoke, a Pup Smoke, just to kind of make sure it's the real 0734960, Chub for me, I best hat lights. What? Can't find where that is. I best hat light. Ibis that lights.
Yeah. One.
IBs that lights.
Something like that.
There we go.
Bay Lover 1. Frank 60442046. David Co 799208899. Swiss Adult Baby and City's Cub.
City's Cub.
Yeah, he's been sending me a lot of private messages. I'll be up his way soon here.
For those of you that are in the Telegram chat, you may know that there's an expectation of some videos to be made. Anyways.
Also a comment on the COL527, what is respect, from Geo Trekker 65. Says, is the closing optional gay campground mentioned in the episode the Woods Campground in Leeton, PA?
So that's a great question. I had to try to remember what the hell we discussed 6 episodes ago.
I don't think it is. I think you were talking about Roseland.
Maybe.
It's possible.
It was. I think it was the one that you worked at.
If it's the one that I worked at, then it was at Roseland. If it wasn't the one that I worked at and I was making reference to something happening at a campground, then it may very well have been the Woods. but I don't quite recall because I didn't really go back and listen to the whole episode to remember. But so I'm going to give you 50-50 on that. Yes, maybe.
50-50.
Yes? Question mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary, tell us about the shows that we've been doing over the last 2 months.
Well, we kind of got feedback on most of them in some form. The What's Going On was that was number 519. What's Going On July of 2019. Last time we discussed and got up on stuff. 520 was part 2 of the Let's Talk About Sex mini series what porn taught us with Hedrian. Then we did What Is Respect, followed by super special episode of COL 522 Transparent Listener Interview. Where TB came on, so it was yay! That was super exciting.
Sexy.
And COL 523 was the infamous Power Hour 7 Jeff's birthday basherino, where we all drank on cam.
I survived this time. I'm very proud of myself.
You did, and you actually, I think, correctly measured this time.
I had an appropriate shot glass. Which is still on my desk. I probably should put that in the dishwasher.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite things about that was Lloyd joining us from across the water. And
From across the pond.
Yes, being super grumpy about the fact that it was like the middle of the night or morning or something for him.
Early in the morning for him.
Yeah. So that was fun. COL 524, continuing the Let's Talk About Sex series, What Porn Taught Us, was part 3, where we talked about the future of porn, potentially. What we think it might be. And then COL 525, we went back to What Is series and talked about confidence. And then last week was COL 526, Let's Talk About Kink, from Yuck to Yum.
Yay.
So got a bunch of series stuff kind of done in the past couple months.
Get that all taken care of. And with that, let's go into something that's a little more risque. All right. So my Twitter post is from Smashy.
Yay!
He also posted it on Facebook, and I'm sure various other places. But it's just a series of some pictures of him that's just taken last night. This is what he just said in the post, and it's just him on the shirtless on the boardwalk, and it's pretty because Smashy's pretty.
He's pretty.
So it isn't as porny as normal, but you know,
it's all right.
It's fine. It's
He's
a handsome
bear.
man.
He's a sexy bear. Handsome fuzzy. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Such a cute little puppy. Anyways, moving on. Damon.
So I actually have 2. I'm going to start with the second one first. So our friend, Mr. Bear Crusher, he was feeling thick, so he took a picture. And yeah. Our friends up north are very beautiful. Just putting it out there.
Those damn Canadians.
Mm-hmm. And he is definitely thick. Yum, yum, yummity, yum.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm just gonna, before you move on, David, so your GIF reply to that tweet is so messy, but funny.
Yes. Girl, you're thinking of a bowl of oatmeal. So that, I forget, that is from some, I don't think it's from an actual TV show. I think it's from an actual, like, courtroom
scene. Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Courtroom scene. And I've seen that so many times, and I use it because it's appropriate most of the time. Yeah. So so my next one is actually something that I has been hitting the Facebook and stuff for a while, and it is essentially the Kyle Long doesn't give a shit about Instagram Live. It is a video of another football player on his team who went on Instagram Live for something, and there's someone in the background that is just like changing clothes. And if you wait until the last bit, you gotta watch the whole thing. You get all of them. Yep, all of them. So. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of in the background, so you don't get like a really good look, but
Yeah. But it's good.
And it's only from the side. You don't get the full frontal necessarily. So.
Yeah. You can kind of, if you like wait like very quickly, right before he puts the towel up, you kind of get a good look at all of it. But you got to like really pay attention. But he's a nice looking guy. But I saw this on Facebook first. There was a article someone had written, I believe it must have been a gay or something like that, our website or something, and just like because it apparently happened, and it hasn't been taken down, possibly because it's been pulled from someone else and grabbed. But as of right now, it's had 262,000 views.
Oh, it's had more views than that.
Oh gosh.
I guarantee.
Oh yeah. But it's a lot. And it's he's, it's very nice to see. So there you go.
You probably didn't even know that it was actually going on. He wasn't even paying
attention.
I
I guarantee he didn't realize that he was just, stripping naked and letting the family jewels hang out there in the locker room on a live stream. So,
yeah, he certainly doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. So,
hell to the no. If you read the comment thread, some people have been talking about size and proportion and flaccidness and calling out haters for being that he ain't all that well endowed, and then people were like, you do realize how big the dude is, right? And so I'm like, I fully realize it. I'm down for that. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, please. All up and in this mouth right now. I don't care about the size. If he's enjoying what is being done to it, then that is all that matters.
Well, he's just a beautiful man. So
yeah. But yeah. That's mine, Gary.
Mine's called Session with Sir recently. So I've been following this person on Twitter for a while now, at @rbakes_porn. The full title is Session with Sir recently, taking a break and feeling safe and relaxed. And I just love the intimacy of this particular.
So tweet.
Yeah. So what I find interesting about it is, it appears that Sir is on his phone looking through something, and then boy Ryan captured a moment. So I don't know if this is a screen grab from a video or necessarily how this was done, but I'm perfectly fine with it. It's a really great picture. So it's moments like this that I like, that are kind of adult porn, but also artistic and intimate. And so
yeah. If it wasn't for the head of the daddy's penis right there at the neck of the guy,
oh, look at that,
it would be a good artistic nude.
It's still
I mean, it still is
art,
but
now.
But you know what I mean. It would actually be
you just wouldn't have. Yeah, I know what you mean. There would not be a need for an eggplant emoji. Got it.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
But
it would not be to be censored.
Yeah. It also makes me want to just get up in them cakes,
I mean, there's that.
That side, but
booty booty.
yeah.
Just well, he's just laying there enjoying him from the back. Anyways, moving.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into the links. At the end of August, it has returned, and that is Good Eats.
Yay!
Brand spanking new episodes. There's at least 2 a week. I think it's only like 13 episodes or something this season, but hopefully he keeps doing some more. Yeah, and it's really good. He's doing it more. I think he's in New York now instead of in Atlanta. So his space, while reminiscent of the old set, is now more kind of like a New York-based sort of thing, and it still has irreverency and everything. But that, and don't forget, there's also Good Eats Reloaded, where he revisits some old episodes, and which is really good too. Needless to say, as I said, since Food Network finally got into YouTube TV, I've been watching a bunch of that. So such as Iron Chef America, Iron Chef Showdown, and Iron Chef Gauntlet too. Oh, and the Kids Baking Challenge. Or Championship. And Buddy versus Duff. Mainly because I like Duff. Anyways. Duff. I would eat his cakes any day.
Ha!
If you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
And it is now time for Gary's Netflix picks of the week. Or 2 months.
2 months.
2 months, yeah, exactly. So I've come to realize, like, because I don't have cable, like, I mostly watch Netflix and or Hulu or YouTube. Like, those are the 3 main things I go to all the time. Although I did sign up for Disney Plus because there's some important shit that's coming to it, and like, I just started paying attention to how much they fucking own. It's a lot.
Yeah, they got a shit ton.
So the fact that there's a lot of stuff that they have access to and or control over that could potentially be coming through the streaming service was really important to me. So, like, I've hemmed and hawed on whether or not I want to get CBS All Access, which there's only 1 show on that I really want to watch. Or no, actually 2 now. So, you know, it's just kind of annoying me. And as someone recently pointed out, so when are we going to start bundling our streaming services, just like cable used to do? But anyways.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there have been similar type of things where it's like Verve is actually vrv.co is kind of a bundle of, if you subscribe to them, it is essentially a bundle of different services such as Crunchyroll, Shudder, and a few other things I can't think of off the top of my head. So there are bundle-ish sites, but not to the extremity of, like, you can go to one place and just kind of bundle in Hulu, Netflix, and Disney Plus or something like that. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Disney ends up coming up with, like, some sort of package between Hulu and Disney Plus, because they're going to be owning a majority of Hulu now.
Well, I thought I read an online article and or rumor, take your pick, of Disney Plus bundling them, Hulu, and ESPN packaging.
Yeah, because they're all Disney owned, essentially.
So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I thought that was actually a really smart move on their part. But I already have Hulu, and I don't really care about ESPN. So I went ahead and got the Disney Plus thing. So I'm looking forward to that because The Mandalorian is coming up.
Yeah,
so,
and it's inexpensive. It's probably one of the cheaper services out there too, and it's just like one price.
Yeah,
you know, they don't have different options. They just got the one.
So that being said, in the past 2 months, I watched a whole bunch of Netflix. A lot of it was either prequels and or sequels / continuations of stuff. So my next guest needs no introduction with David Letterman season 2 came out, and that was really good. Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, the new 2019 freshly brewed season of episodes came out, which was good. And if you actually have Netflix and you watch it on that, there's actually, I think, 2 non-episode like Q&A interview kind of episodes. So they're not the typical format. They're actually Q&A type stuff where Jerry and someone else gets asked questions. So yeah, I like that. One of them is Eddie Murphy, which is interesting. Tiffany Haddish presents They Ready. Tiffany Haddish made a series of, I think it's about 6 or 8 comedians that she came up with that she feels need to be known and in the limelight. One of them is trans, and girl, like, just be ready for like some cray cray. But I really enjoyed the series and liked it a lot. And then for those of you that heard me kind of talk about this much earlier, because I was super, super excited, The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Season 1. Pause, think about that for a second. Came out on Netflix with the Henson Company. They worked collaboratively on it. The Crystal Calls is a documentary. It's making of the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. It's fascinating. It's a great hour and a half. I have watched both the season 1 prequel and the making of twice in completion.
Wow.
I just cannot get enough of like how amazing this stuff is. And so everyone's been talking about the fact that like, oh, if they called it season 1, there must be a season 2. So Netflix typically has an algorithm that after about the first 4 weeks of anything being released that they personally made helps them drive and make the decision on continuing on. I think there's a high likelihood that they're going to continue on with another season because of not only the fandom and like the reaction of like how great it is, but also where the end of this prequel season ends is not the beginning of the movie that we all knew from the 80s. There's a bit of a gap in the story and the history and the lore, so there's more stuff to fill in.
Yeah, and it's interesting though is the fact that it's Henson is or the Jim Henson Studios is actually owned by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they just continue just letting this be a Netflix thing. Maybe Netflix is paying for it and it's basically third party hiring them for it or something. And hopefully that's what it continues to be, or we might have another, Marvel thing going on. Or if Netflix thinks, oh, well, we don't longer want to do this, maybe then we'll just move over to Disney Plus. Yes.
I think Netflix made a really, really smart decision in deciding to back the thing the way they did it. And I think you're right with the first part, Jeff, that it was they hired the Henson Company to be the production aspect of things. And so Netflix, I don't think owns the rights other than what they filmed, quote unquote, but all the rest of it is obviously Disney. So I'm pretty sure there was some serious money that went back and forth, but I'm really hopeful for the fact that they continue, because part of me all kept thinking when I was watching this first season prequel was there's so much stuff that they created. How could they not continue because of all the puppetry and
they probably had to recreate all of that. How much stuff? The question part of the question might also be how much of this stuff was there anything from the original that was restored and pulled in? Right. Because it's all puppets.
Well, I do know that
they've got a few. I think they have a few CG-ish things, but but the actual characters, and there's an actual characters, actual sets, and then it's just the special effects for all the magic-ish sort of things. But
yeah, it was highly practical. I do think if you go online and watch, there's a huge fandom for YouTube, which I didn't even know about, but thanks to Google, they cross-linked some stuff, so I watched some very interesting other stuff. But there is some things about restoration of the previous puppetry and that. So I agree. I think that they rebuilt everything. And what's amazing is that the Froud family, so Brian Froud was the artist who created like all the visuals for the original. He was brought in. His son Toby, who like factoid or whatever trivia, is the baby from the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie. He works with his father and his mother, like they were part of the whole production. So like it was really very much like from the place that everybody is fandom wanted it to be done. So I'm very hopeful that they're going to continue on with it. So I highly recommend. It's great for kids, obviously. And then the last thing that I just recently watched that came out was The Mind Explained, which is a series that's been created through Vox and Netflix. And they did a limited series. So Explained is the series. They did a limited one called The Mind. So they talk about different aspects of how the mind works. So feel free to check that out as well. Nice. But yeah, that's what I ended up watching over the past couple of months here and there. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to put on Disenchantment. Season 2 is on. That just came out literally like 3 days ago. For those of you that don't know, Disenchantment is help me, Simpsons.
Matt Groening, The Simpsons.
There you go. Yeah. He made an irreverent fairy tale focused cartoon animated series that came out last year called Disenchantment, about a princess named Teeny Beanie and everything that like kind of goes wrong, and she has 2 sidekicks. One is an elf that's sort of in love with her ish, and a demon named Lucy. You just have to watch it. It's kind of stupidly fun.
Nice.
So,
hey, guess what, folks? That's the end. Oh. Plenty of ways to contact us. Pop over to our website, cubsoutloud.com. Shoot us an email with a voicemail if you use your voice memo app, or otherwise at cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You can't leave us a voicemail. It only runs for 3 minutes. So keep it short. At 361-C, we'll talk. That's 361-265-8255. You can find us on various social media outlets on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and of course on YouTube at Cubs Out Loud in the appropriate place of the URL. You can join our entourage chat at tinyurl.com/telegram-col. You can find out when we record these shows at tinyurl.com/calendar-col on a computer. And then once you subscribe, you should have access to it on your Google Calendar and mobile. You can find various merchandise such as this smashy design, now that we're sticky, here's your cookie t-shirt. Also a smashy designed "Consent is my foreplay" shirt that Gary is wearing. Hats of various types that also Gary is wearing. Gary's being our model today. And Damien doesn't have anything on, so that's fine.
No,
and various other
that's not true. David is wearing clothes.
Just none of our merchandise, that's all. That's fine. It's fine. You don't always have to wear it.
He's promoting Killer Bob right now, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the Killer Bob design.
Yeah. Killer Bob's cool. Cool. That's at Zazzle.com/CubsOutLoud. If you find any sort of merchandise that on the Zazzle store that we don't have anything of, and you would like something Cubs Out Loud, just let us know. You can also become a patron at patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. We appreciate you folks very, very, very much. Helps with hosting, and hopefully we'll be building up to possibly a new computer build. But I'm looking to, we need to hit probably $1,000 or so, just to make sure can pay for everything to get all the parts. And you can rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe to us on Google Play Podcasts. You can find me anywhere on the internet. It says Box at Box, 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 Cub, Box, something or other.
I am Theater Cub 79 on most bear-related sites, or on Facebook, or you can find me as pup_Umbra on Twitter.
If you would like to get in touch with me, pretty much find me anywhere online as GareBear73. That's GARBEAR73.
And programming note, next week we will be flashing back because I will not be in town.
Flashback.
Minnesota.
2/3 of us will not be available next Sunday, so I get a week off.
Yeah. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hoo-yah.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh gosh. Oh, that's what I need to do. I'll be right back.
Okay. Then tell me he's going to use one of those urinals.
Perhaps.
Quite possibly.
So I realized part of the way into the show that I left my closet door wide open in the background. So it's not a big deal, but I was trying to be conscious of before the show to like close it so, you know, people don't see my storage, so to speak.
That's okay. Have you seen my background? It's not much better. I kind of wish I had like a green screen or something I could put up there. And
Thanks, Tubbs. He says we saw everything. Well, you didn't see quite everything because while I may be Winnie the Poohing it right now, you didn't get to see that.
Oh.
So there you go.
brown chicken brown cow.
Oh well, yeah. It's a lazy Sunday morning. That's how that is.
That's how Sunday mornings should be. Unfortunately, my afternoons not so lazy.
Yeah.
What is it that we're doing next week?
Bah, bah, bah. All right.
We are doing our first high school crushes episode.
Ooh.
COL231.
Almost 300 episodes ago.
That was originally recorded 10/6/2013. Damon, when this flashback releases, it will have been 6 years since we recorded that episode.
I think he's on mute.
I am on mute.
Oh, look, because Damon isn't saying anything, and that seems weird to me.
And
I'm
actually
not-
reference an Elton Brown episode too, or a Good Eats episode too.
And I'm actually not on. I'm not in Vegas yet. That's World Bear. That's why I'm not available next week. Just that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming.
Thanks. I'm just gonna change that real quick.